Hey, Davyverse. Good morning. Hey, Daphne. Daphne, love your videos. Just got in. Just got in as in you've been out all night partying? Hey, Lily Cat. Nice to see you. Great to see you. We're in a beautiful and quiet residential area of Washington, D.C. called Cleveland Park. And for some reason, I've done something to my gimbal, and I don't know why. It's like fixing on a spot and it won't rotate. I'm trying to get through some little technical difficulties here. But this is a real quiet area. We're north of downtown because today is the day of the Marine Corps Marathon. So we are not going anywhere near the downtown area. But this gives us a great opportunity to walk through a residential area. And there are a few ambassadorial residences and embassies tucked into this beautiful little area here. So we'll get to check those out. Hello, Bossy. Aw, sorry you think that way. This is where the wealthiest people of Washington, D.C. live. Um, now, why won't my camera? It won't turn. What the heck? Okay, I know. It's beeping. I haven't hit any buttons, I don't think. I'm going to try to hit a few buttons. Let's see what happens. That's the one. Okay. Found it. Good morning, everyone. Lily Cat, it is great to see you. Everyone, check out Glitter It Up with Daphne if you want some great ideas for Halloween festive decorations with a lot of bling going on. This is a beautiful one here. Try not to, I feel like when I'm here, and it's not super early in the morning, it's a little bit after 8 o'clock here. It feels earlier because the days are getting shorter. And in this area, we're always going to find one of these police or fire call boxes. And in different neighborhoods of Washington, D.C., they are painted different colors. So this is the red on black, which I'm thinking is Cleveland Park. And, or maybe we're technically in Woodley Park. Okay, so this, instead of having art, this one has a little map and history of this area. Okay, so technically we're in Woodley Park, which is, and where I am now is in between the Woodley Park metro stops and the Cleveland Park metro stops. We're really close to the National Zoo. The National Zoo, unfortunately, is closed now due to the government shutdown. So we hope that ends soon because people want to go to the zoo and the other Smithsonian museums. I do love the AI cake. That was amazing. Hello, Bake King. Nice to see you. We are also, and you can see the sign says Woodley Park there. We're going to get a great, beautiful sunrise here. We're on Cathedral Avenue. So Connecticut Avenue runs north and south, but a little bit diagonal because the streets in DC that are named after states kind of connect some of the major routes in Washington, DC. And we're west of Connecticut, heading toward Wisconsin, where the National Cathedral is. So this whole area is accessible from the National Cathedral, the zoo, also Massachusetts Avenue, where we tend to be um, when we're looking at embassies. Daryl! I'm not going to shout because it's really quiet in this beautiful little neighborhood. This little skeleton up on the skeletons on the rocking chair on the porch of that home there. Maybe we'll see some Halloween decorations. Not like the ones we saw in Baltimore yesterday. That block on Ostend Street, that was great. But these are some grand homes here in this upscale neighborhood of Washington, D.C. for sure. Oh, this one has lights around the tree, but they're not on. And there's a skelly. I think skellies are in this season. This is definitely the season for skellies. I feel like last year there were a lot of dinosaurs for Halloween. This is definitely skelly season. Check these beautiful townhomes out. Wow. So on this side of the road, townhomes, very, very large, grand townhomes. And on this side of the road, very grand single residences. Wow. I love the entranceway on this one. Yes, this is the weekend, Daryl, for raking. So when I got home yesterday, I don't know, it was about 11, 10:30, 11:30. Time did I get home yesterday? Yeah, about 11. And I was doing yard work all day. I had pruning to do on the trees, and then I had to chop all the branches, and it's all sitting there for me to finish up today because I couldn't finish everything. Hello, JN, and hello, Firewood. They can't afford. Well, I think they have done the leaf blowers just on the sidewalk here, but this is kind of the first weekend where the leaves are really falling. It's just started here, and you can see some of the trees are starting to turn color.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you know where the Woodley Park race area is?
Ooh, race area?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
You mean for the Marine Corps Marathon?
Where it's going up from mile 7.
No, I don't. And you know what? I came up Connecticut Avenue, and there was no diversions or anything, so I didn't even know it was up here. I'm usually down around the mall,
Okay.
and that's why I'm here this weekend because of the race. No, I don't.
Oh, interesting.
Oh well, good luck.
Thanks.
This is the weekend. This is the day for the Marine Corps Marathon. And yeah, that's why I wasn't downtown where I usually am, because I'm avoiding that area. And that gentleman is looking to see if he can see the race. Not here. We haven't seen any detours or diversions. Now we're going to come up to our first embassy of the morning. More skeletons. I do. Skeletons are the theme this Halloween. 100%. Our first embassy today is the Embassy of Switzerland. So we're here at the corner of Cathedral and Woodley. Now, we talk a lot about architecture. Let's not be too judgy. The Embassy of Switzerland is quite a modern building right here. And it is part of a compound similar to the embassies of Germany and France, where they have a lot of land around the embassy. That's true here for the Embassy of Switzerland. Sadly, there is not even the hint of a breeze today. So that Swiss flag is just there. Not even a bit of a breeze. But this is the Embassy of Switzerland, 2900 Cathedral Avenue in Washington, D.C. Hello, Julie. Yes, hooray for Switzerland. It is a good flag if we could see it. There is not a breeze at all. Not a breeze at all. Probably good because it is still nippy. It's think it's probably 45 degrees right now. As soon as the sun comes up just a little bit more, it'll warm up quickly. Now, I have not been, this is one of the few embassies I have not visited. They do a big event in the spring, and they do participate in the embassy open house in May. But because this one it's kind of secluded, it's further away from the other ones. I try to get in as many embassies as possible on open house day. So this is not on my list, but I think this year I need to do an event here because I've not been here. And then next door, behind the fence, is the residence of the ambassador from Switzerland. And it's quite beautiful. Again, modern. I know from here it looks like a box. And I don't want folks to get the wrong idea. But there is beautiful artwork up there. And there are these trees. They're kind of like aluminum. I think they're aluminum. These beautiful trees that are artworks. And there's fountains and a pool. We'll walk around, see what else we can see. And there's some artwork here in front of the embassy building. And the flagpole with a flag that we can't see. But yes, so if you need to visit the Embassy of Switzerland, it is here on Cathedral Avenue in this charming neighborhood of Woodley Park / Cleveland Park in Washington, D.C. Hi, Sherry. Nice to see you. Hello from Russia. Very nice to have you. This will be a quiet, pleasant walk this morning because it's a very quiet morning. No cones in sight, Daryl. No, not yet. If we do encounter the race course for the Marine Corps Marathon, I guarantee we will see all manner of cones. Check that tree out. Wow. What time do I go live? Whenever the spirit moves me. I don't follow a very good schedule, and also, yeah, it really depends on things like weather and traffic and all manner of variables. You can kind of peek a little bit through the fence here at the residence of the ambassador from Switzerland. I don't want to get too close. I could do like I do and just, kind of stick the camera through the grates, but I don't want to today. I don't know, it's so quiet. And this is a residence, so I don't want to feel intrusive. Oh, look, some animal has been taking bites out of that pumpkin. Some little critter's been checking that out. Beautiful flowers here, too. But wow, that is quite a magnificent tree. I'm enjoying that. I would say here in this area, the next 2 weekends going forward will be the, the big leaf peeping season, as we call it here, because you can see so many trees are still green. The next 2 weekends, I think more people will be scooping up leaves. Now, this is a fancy private school next door here. This is, I wonder if it's on my list. It's not. I think it's called the Merit School. Oh, there's a sign. Yes, the Merit School. Fancy schmancy private school here. Now, Smooth Sailor, we're a friendly bunch here, and we're a polite bunch here. So you are welcome to stay and ask questions, but ask good questions, please. Faye, good morning. Everyone is welcome here. It's so quiet here. A little look over on the fancy school. Their the little lawn chairs out there in the fancy school. Check that one out. Now that's more Italianate, right? Which we typically don't see in this area. We tend to see more of a French influence in the architecture, and of course the early American federal style. We see so many styles. You'll even see a Tudor mixed in these neighborhoods. Hi, Lily Cat. Thank you for that reminder. Yeah, I wish I were better about scheduling. I really do. I feel like sometimes when I do schedule, then something comes up and I don't make it. Or depending on traffic, I get there early or late. I'm really bad about it. I'm sorry. And then yesterday I had the stream was all planned and I couldn't connect from the scheduled stream icon. And that's the second time that's happened. So it gets confusing because folks are waiting for me in the live stream and then I have to start a different live stream. So all my technical difficulties. So sorry. Now, speaking of Tudor or English, check that one out with the crest above the window there. It's one of those crests with a helm at the top. Definitely looks like a coat of arms. Quite interesting. This school is huge. Check this out. All the great and good sending their children to private schools. That's okay. That's totally okay. Thank you, Lloyd. Hi, Billy. Nice to see you. I know, Davyverse. When I do plan, everything goes awry. But what has not gone awry recently is the weather. The weather has just been magnificent almost every day, every weekend day. And this causes problems because then I don't get anything else done. What I'll do is I'll go running or hiking, then I'll do a live stream, then I'll come back to the same route with my 35 millimeter camera, like digital. I keep saying 35 millimeter, you know what I mean? Digital camera, my real camera. Um, So what happens is I don't get anything done at home because I'm outside all day because this weather is just amazing. Where do I live from? Where do I live? I live in Maryland and I work in and around Washington, D.C. Hi, Nancy from Kentucky. Thank you for joining. Wow, Jen from Australia. Australia, hang on. We're going to the residence of the ambassador from Australia to the United States. That is on the tour today. So we just passed the Embassy of Switzerland, and the next stop on Cleveland Avenue is the residence of the ambassador from Australia, who lives in a home that was the original Embassy of Australia here in Washington, D.C. So, Jen, glad to have you. Peter, nice to see you. Nancy, it's a magnificent weekend, and I hope you're having a great weekend too. Taking a little casual stroll through a beautiful residential area of Washington, D.C., Woodley Park. We're really close to the National Zoo and some other great sites. And on Connecticut Avenue, great shops, great restaurants. And here we have another one of these beautiful restored call boxes. So these here in Woodley Park, these are red and black. So in different areas of Washington, D.C., there have been projects to restore these call boxes and make them works of art. I love it. And here, these in this little neighborhood here have history. The history of the Woodley estate, which is where that school is right now. Okay. Woodley has been home to a succession of prominent Americans. It served as the summer White House for Van Buren and Cleveland. Interesting. And check out there's another Italianate home across the way here. So we're finding that this area has more its own distinctive architecture, a little different than some of the other areas we've looked at. Also, lots of gardens, excuse me. Lots of beautiful gardens. Lovely. Hello, Jokas. Nice to see you. Hello, Chun-Li. You're worth over $1 trillion. Well, it's lovely to know you. It is. I do think I like it when the trees are just starting to turn color and you still have some vibrant green in the mix, along with the yellow and the reds and the oranges. I think that's so nice. We're walking west on Cathedral Avenue, and we're going to go until we hit the intersection with Cleveland Avenue. And then we're going to take Cleveland Avenue to the residence of the ambassador from Australia. We have a few sites in this neighborhood, but we'll also hit a few. I'm sure we'll have a few surprises here too. Just lovely. And not a lot of traffic here. Some mornings, even in the quietest neighborhoods, when we're up around Colorama, there's so much traffic. And don't even talk to me about Georgetown. I still haven't recovered from that Georgetown adventure. Check that out. A few sporadic Halloween decorations. Ooh, there's lavender. A few. Now this one definitely, I don't know. Could this be a home or a multi-tenant? I'm not sure. Whatever it is, it's grand. What's the time here? It's 8:33 in the morning. We did not change our clocks. I know some folks in our friends in the UK, their clocks went back an hour last night. Ours don't change until next week. So just for this week, the difference between, for example, U.S. Eastern Time Zone and British Greenwich Mean Time, I guess, is only 4 hours just for this week. Kevin Rudd. Oh, Kevin Rudd is the current ambassador from Australia. Okay, so we're going to go visit Kevin Rudd's house. Stan, this is Washington, D.C. This is the Woodley Park neighborhood. I started just off of Connecticut Avenue. I parked like kind of near the National Zoo. And then we walked past the Embassy of Switzerland. And we're headed to the building that was the original Embassy of Australia and is now the residence of the ambassador. And I have a video on my channel, not live, an actual edited video of the history of the Embassy of Australia. Those who know my channel know that I took 2 years to film every single embassy in Washington, D.C. And that's hedging over 190 countries and over 200 different buildings. And thus far, I finished in December of last year. That was my first live stream the day I finished filming. The very last embassy was the Embassy of the Central African Republic. And since then, I've only edited one video, but it's the Embassy of Australia. So all that work. And then the weather got beautiful and I can't stay inside and edit. So what I need some bad weather weekends. I need some rainy, dreary, but not snowy because I go out in the snow. I need some really rainy, dreary weekends to make me do my editing. All right, there are acorns falling from this tree. I don't know if anyone was on my walk around the Embassy of New Zealand and I got hit in the head with acorns. They hurt. Now check this one out with the conservatory next to it. Wow. Now, some of the residences of, try again. The residences of some ambassadors are not marked. So these could also be ambassadorial residences. But check that out with the conservatory. Look at that, and a driveway. It's great to have a garden. We're still in the city, to have enough space to have a garden is one thing, but to have enough space to have a little driveway, that's really prized location. Good morning, Wolf. Nice to see you. Jen, I know they look clean. Everything here is clean. It's it's good. It's really good. Oh, check this little cottage out across the way here. got the brick with the stucco facade. That looks really nice. And here we're at the convergence with Cleveland Avenue right here. Hi AJ. Oh, you're from Vienna. I know Vienna. Oh my gosh, it's just so full of businesses right now. Vienna is out of control. Vienna is, I mean, it's just, and all the construction around the Beltway, I have to drive that way just about every day. Oh my gosh, it's so busy. Now, what you can see here, you can see the top of the National Cathedral peeking out up there, still undergoing renovation from that earthquake in 2011. 14 years of repair from the earthquake in 2011. Hi, Rising Storm. Hey, Ben, good morning. Good morning. That is a cute little cottage if I ever saw one. That is lovely. I'm all for that. I don't need anything grand. I don't. All right, if I come down this way, then the residence should be on the opposite side. Okay, checking my map. I always have my map in hand. Most of the time I go completely off map, but I have one anyway. Yeah, Daphne, I do too. I like walking on them. I just don't like being hit in the head with them. Can't believe how quiet it is. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I think when I'm up around the DuPont Circle or Sheridan Circle area, it's just busier because of the big farmers market there in DuPont Circle. So there's a lot of traffic. But today, this is Sunday. What is today? October 26th. This guy is driving way too fast. Like seriously, dude, slow down. Um, Today's the day of the Marine Corps Marathon. So we are purposely avoiding the National Mall area and wishing all the runners well. I know someone who's running in the marathon today. I'm so excited for her. So good luck. I won't say her name, but wishing her all the best of luck. Now this one's interesting. That's kind of odd for stucco, right? The green stucco, that is stucco. And the stucco around the pillars in the front is an interesting choice, we'll call it. Okay, now I'm going to be slightly forced to walk in the street for a second here. Okay. I think we're okay. And it will give me a very good look at this one with the beautiful terracotta tile. It's a mixed terracotta tile. It's the red and green mixed. It's a stucco front, but it's there's a name for it. It's not dappled stucco. It is like horizontally applied stucco. Can't explain it. With the wrought iron railings. I like this one. Hello, Barat. This is the Woodley Park area of Washington, D.C., and we're just taking a stroll. We have already gone past the expansive Embassy of Switzerland, and now we're headed toward the original Embassy of Australia. And we've turned off of turned off of Cathedral Avenue onto Cleveland Avenue. And yes, this is Washington, D.C. So sorry, I'm being way too specific about the streets and not telling you the actual city is Washington, D.C. Now we have a a sixth street intersection here, and I see another call box. So we are going to cross the street carefully and check out that call box, a little off route here. Oh, that sun today. Now, if I were to continue down this street, this is Garfield, I would be at the Embassy of Kosovo. I would cross over Massachusetts Avenue and be at the Embassy of Kosovo. We've visited that one before. Hi, Stephen. Nice to see you. But I see another call box. I am going to document all of these. I am. Put it on my next completionist list. So this is, what has happened to my camera? Tell you what. Hi, Sunny. Hello, batter, bowler, biker, banker. I'm from Baltimore, to go with your B theme there. But I live and work in Washington, D.C., and we're in Washington today. And this is another one of those restored fire call boxes. This one is like a foresty green with gold accents. And this one has just a little history of the neighborhood, the Woodland Normanstone neighborhood, okay? Established in 1910 to preserve the natural beauty of the land, is today home to numerous species of trees and plants, as well as diverse wildlife. From the Normanstone Creek Valley Forest, administered by the National Park Service. Had no idea this was called Normanstone. No idea. I just thought this was Woodley Park. This is near the National Cathedral. We are just steps from the National Cathedral. We are steps from Massachusetts Avenue. And we're just taking a walk through the residential area today because the Marine Corps Marathon is happening today. And while we're normally in different parts of the city, the marathon has taken over the city, but that's okay. Gives us the opportunity to check out some areas we haven't visited and maybe we should have. Do I support our troops? 100%. I come from a family of those who serve and served in the military, mostly the Navy. All right, it could be this one here. It's either this one or the next one. So let's see. Oh, I think it's the next one. Oh, careful. God bless our troops, 100%. Hi, Shaquille. Thank you. We're just taking a walk. We're just checking out some of the beautiful and varied architecture in different parts of Washington, D.C. Yeah, I think it's this one. So I think this one coming up. So we visited the Embassy of Switzerland and the residence of the Ambassador of Switzerland. And this one coming up, this is the residence of the Ambassador from Australia. Hopefully we can get a little look. And this used to be the Embassy of Australia. And if you check out my video, you will see, yep, residence. Oh no, not visible, not visible. But there's a beautiful sign. Wow. Okay, so you can kind of see the house peeking. No, Daryl. No. You can kind of see the estate peeking over there. Let's see if we can find a way to see this estate. I'm not thinking we will. But check out my video about the history of the Embassy of Australia, because this being the original embassy, I have pictures of it and I have documented it. It's a really nice house across the way. Bummer. I was hoping it was visible from the street. That's okay. We have more embassies on the route today. Let me cross the street just carefully, just in case there might be a view. I doubt it, but just in case there's a view from across the street. In the meantime, we'll get a closer look at this one and this beautiful one. Again, I feel like there are more Italian influences here. Okay, so maybe if I hold the camera way high, you can see the Australian flag there. And you can get a tiny peek of the estate. Let's try to go up here a little bit more. Nope. Well, that's interesting because so many of the other residences are quite easily seen, and this one is definitely hidden. So, apologies for that. Hello, Holden. Is this lady an architecture fan or diplomat? I am an architecture fan. I'm an historian, but I'm not an architect. Um, but I'm really into architecture. But uh, my my um, my specialty is history, in particular um, battlefield geography, which this is not. But I have a real passion for architecture in the cities that I get to visit. I get to travel a lot, so I'm really happy when I can take a walk and check out the architecture, and I can share it with you. This is Washington, D.C., Linda. This is the Woodley Park, in particular the Woodland Normanstone area of Washington, D.C. I just learned that. And here there are some beautiful homes to look at. There are also a few embassies and ambassadorial residences to check out. And we are heading now to another embassy, or two or three. There's one marked on the map, but there could be others. You never know what you're going to come up with. And we're heading toward, so we began, oh, there's some Halloween decorations. Sorry, you're hearing my map. There's some cute Halloween decorations there. do need some speed bumps. Hi, Raise Angst. This channel is my personal research vlog. I hate that word vlog. This is where I track my architectural research and my filming for architectural studies and historical studies. And that way I can go back and I know where I've been. And it is supposed to inspire me to do more indexing and cataloging. And it never happens. I never have time to index or catalog. But that's the purpose. So we go on nice little walks around. Sorry, camera. Um, Baltimore, Washington D.C., Philadelphia, wherever I am, London, wherever I am. So thank you for joining. What street am I on? I'm on Cleveland Avenue. And hello, hey, wow, Cleveland Avenue. And we're heading toward Calvert Street, where we will encounter at least one more embassy. And along the way, we're going to see some beautiful gardens and beautiful residences. And hopefully some more Halloween decorations. Check out these gardens. Beautiful. Hi, Sam Ish from Sweden. Hello, Portugal. Julie, that's really sweet of you. I appreciate that. I used to just do this myself and just record video. And one day when I finished a huge project, I decided to go live, and I was shocked that people joined me and wanted to join me for more of these adventures. And somehow I have subscribers and that I go places, and sometimes I can get to those places. Check that one out. There's a graveyard in the front of that home for Halloween. Looking forward to Christmas because I'll get out in the evenings. Hopefully I'll get out in the evenings and be able to check out the places that are decorated, all lit up for Christmas. Now, I'm sorry, I'm walking straight into the sun. Oh, look, another call box. Yay. This one is on the corner of 31st Street and Cleveland. And this one has more local history. Just about the area. Some of them have artworks installed. Some of them just talk about the history. Here on 31st Street. And we will get down to Calvert Avenue. And the Embassy of Lebanon, if I'm remembering it correctly, it is quite an interesting architectural example. Hopefully it's the one I'm thinking of. Oh, thank you, Samish. Oh, Jen, I appreciate it. I know, I wish, have I been to Civil War and Revolutionary? Oh my gosh, Raise Angst. I live on Civil War battlefields. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. So my earliest videos before I ever went live are a series of videos tracing my ancestors' travels during the Civil War. And I think I published about 18 videos, and I have 210 more to go because I'm tracing every single day of his service in the Civil War. And so I'm walking or driving in some cases his path. And so, yep, Civil War battlefields, that's my thing. And War of 1812 because I'm from Baltimore. So that was my original area of study, 1812. The battles of Baltimore, North Point, up on Patterson Park, Hampstead Hill, all that good 1812 stuff around Baltimore, and of course, Fort McHenry. So, yes, thank you for asking. The sound is cutting off. Oh no, it's probably me because I'm sorry, my head's going back and forth. I keep turning my head. That's my fault. I apologize. I'm not a real YouTuber. Check this one out. Wow, that is quite lovely. Any tips on how to move to the USA? Reese, study and find out the process, follow the process, and then come on over. That is beautiful. But if you can't move here, please do visit. I tend to be in the cities just because of work and life, but we also have the great expanse of the middle of the country in the west, the beautiful national parks. Yellowstone, if you haven't been to Yellowstone, get to Yellowstone. Yosemite. Sorry for the sun. Woo. I'll be behind some trees soon. Am I an historian? Yes, I am an historian. I have a real day job, though, that pays the bills because being an historian doesn't always pay the bills. And I teach some really boring classes for other historians and genealogists. Thank you for asking. That's what I do. Ooh, look at that one up on that driveway there. It's so peaceful. What's funny is it's so peaceful, and if you just walk like 2 blocks that way, you'll be on Massachusetts Avenue, and it is so busy. So these little residential areas provide a respite from the busy, busy part of the city. And today's super busy due to the Marine Corps Marathon. Raise, I have more. I do have too. I have too many degrees. My family tells me I need to stop studying. For sure. Spent summers. Linda, you spent summers in Yosemite as a kid. I am. I'm. Okay. I am envious. I wish I had more time, and I wish when I was younger, I got out west more. Just couldn't. There's a lot to do in the east. So Yosemite is on a list of things to do in the next couple of years. But this one looks like it's had its better days. Villa Las Camelias. Wonder if it's for sale. Seen its better days. Just a wee bit. Okay, we are looking for Calvert Street. I think this is Calvert Street up here, if I haven't missed it. I'm going this way, and then we're going to make a left. Liam, hi, Liam. I am in probably now. Okay, I was in Woodley Park. We started in Cleveland Park. We're in that sort of area in Washington, D.C. Check that little one out. Cottage feel for that one. So normally I'm very certain about where I am in terms of the neighborhoods, but I'm not as familiar with this area as I am with other parts of Northwest Washington, D.C. So I think this is still Woodley Park. Basically, we started out near the National Zoo. Check that one out. Another Italianate for this one. Beautiful driveway in the courtyard. I mean, that's the bonus. If you have the driveway, that's the bonus here. Closer into the main city, hey, if you have the garden, that's a good thing. But out here, if you get a driveway, that's the super bonus. Now this one's all decorated for Halloween. Pumpkins, witches, spiders, spider webs, everything going there. All right, I am at a major intersection. I'm going to say, yep, there's McGill Terrace. Okay, now I'm going to go left across the street, and I believe we'll be on Calvert. And we'll be at our next embassy. That light is still green. I can cross. How much do I think the price is? Hi, Yeshia, 24. How much do you think the average price is? Oh my goodness, it starts with million. These are definitely in the millions. I'm sorry I can't get. You're all asking such great questions, and I'm sorry I can't get to the chat because I have to be looking at traffic, and I also have to be looking at the sidewalk so I don't fall in a hole. Millions, in the big millions here. The there was one down near DuPont Circle that we looked at a few weeks ago, and it had a sign on it. You know, here, check it out, and call this number. But I went online. It was $11 million. It was $11 million. So yeah. And to be fair, that one was a pretty big townhome. But that was more than, yeah, that was more than I had even thought. Do I have a doctorate in history? No, so my primary era, region of interest, et cetera, et cetera. So my degrees, so that's a long story. My degrees are in different things. I don't want to share too much. I don't like to be too personal. Um, because there are things that you can find out about me out there because of being published. So I hope you understand. I don't want to share too much. Too much. But the relationship between geography, battlefield geography, and tactics is of interest, particularly as relates to artillery. So that's there. All right. You know what I did? Did I go the wrong way? This is the question. So I went this way. I was coming down Cleveland Avenue, McGill Terrace. We just passed McGill Terrace. I think I'm going the correct way. This doesn't look entirely. Aha, I was supposed to cross the street. That's why. Oh, it's rainy and windy. The Calverts gave Baltimore. That's absolutely right. The Calverts were the first Lords Baltimore. But the first Lord Baltimore didn't make it to Maryland. He died. A few of them died. And then eventually one of them survived and actually made it to Maryland. All right, I think I've gotten to the right place. Oh, I think it's right up here. How do I know if a vampire is unwell? Because he'll be coughing. Okay, Darren. Are we doing that? Are we doing dad jokes? That's okay. Hi, Jawad. Very nice to see you. Hi, Rizalina. Nice to see you. It is calm. So, what was the primary era and region you studied in college? So, again, I don't want to give away too much because I'm published. Um, so, think about battlefield geography and historic preservation. And so that's what I studied, was preservation and the trappings of. So if you think about, if you've ever been to Gettysburg back in the 1980s, it was a total tourist trap. So look up like old Gettysburg observation tower and what a terrible eyesore it was. So the balance between how do you make history accessible to people, for me, from a geographical perspective. And so in Gettysburg, they had this monstrosity of an observation tower, but that tower allowed people to actually appreciate the battlefield geography. Thankfully, it was torn down. Thankfully, the we've matured in terms of what we feel like preservation is. We're getting away from touristy, trappy type of things into preservation and interpretation that does invite people in, but then also really does preserve the geography as well as the history. So I don't want to go too much into it. I really appreciate your questions, Rach, but I also realize this is really boring for some people. But yes, America, absolutely, yes. The areas particularly around the Mid-Atlantic. So the Battle of Antietam, South Mountain, Gettysburg, Manassas, all of those battles of the Civil War, and then for 1812, the Battle of Baltimore and North Point. So thank you for all of your questions. I appreciate it. But I realize for others, it's, that gets a little specific. This is the Embassy of Lebanon. I said we were going to see lots of embassies today. Not lots, but a few interesting ones that we hadn't visited before. This is the Embassy of Lebanon. Quite interesting architecture, and I believe purpose built as the Embassy of Lebanon here on McGill Terrace. And there is no breeze today. Not even the hint of a breeze. Hi, Rosalina. I'm Filipino born. Oh, it's wonderful. It does look a little bit like a castle. There's no breeze for these flags today. I'm quite disappointed. What's the most beautiful embassy? Okay, I have two. One is the embassy, the new Embassy of Australia. It is modern, but it is beautiful. And I have a video on it. So check out my video on the Embassy of Australia. Um, but there are other embassies that inhabit these former Gilded Age mansions. And the Embassy of, is it the Embassy of Haiti or the Ambassador from Haiti? No, it's the Embassy of Haiti next to Ambassador of Chile. Chile, the residence of the Ambassador from Chile is on Massachusetts Avenue, and those are very French in style. They're just beautiful. They're delicate and dainty, if that makes sense. And they're just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, those are ones that I do appreciate. All right, we're going to just wander now and see what else we can see in this neighborhood. Who makes the embassies? Great question. So, um, here in the United States, I'm sorry, the sound might be going out because I have to keep looking over my shoulder for traffic. In the 1800s, when industry was booming and families were building their Washington, D.C. homes to exert their influence over the government, they built grand mansions. And the era that would become to be known as the Gilded Age influenced these huge mansions with a European influence. And then the Depression hit in the 1920s, and families had to make a choice. Do I keep my home in New York or Newport or where my family's from or Washington, D.C.? And many of them decided to ditch their Washington, D.C. mansions. Some of them no longer exist. But around that same time in 1920, we were between two world wars. And nations from around the world wanted to exert their influence here in the United States. And so it was a good solution for those foreign legations, as they were called, to move into those mansions and to save many of them. And so they rent or purchase those stately homes. Um, they are responsible for the upkeep in accordance with the historic preservation rules that apply for those buildings. So that's probably a really, really long and detailed answer to your simple question. But yeah, they are sovereign soil of the countries that occupy them. But there are rules that they must abide. Now, as for that new Australian embassy I talked about, that was purpose built on the same land as the previous Australian embassy, purchased by the nation of Australia, paid for, etc. Cones. I know. Raise. I'm sorry. I'm glad you think it's interesting. I know some people don't. There are a lot of Japanese cars here. Yeah. Oh, there's a German. There's a. Oh, VW. There's two VWs. All right. I'm going uphill now. You might hear me heaving here. I already did my run this morning, and it wasn't the Marine Corps Marathon. That's beautiful. Quite simple, but beautiful. It's for sale. We can look that one up. Now here's one. Okay, this is an ambassadorial residence. Okay, this is the embassy. This is the residence. Let's see if we can get a photo. This is the residence of the ambassador from Argentina. Oh, don't know if you can see. Oh wait, there's a car down there. Okay. Okay, how do I get to that street? Oh, we're gonna check this one out for sure. Look at my map. Okay, do I go up? I'm gonna go up a block and come back down because this is gorgeous. And this is Argentina's ambassadorial residence. And we can only get a little peek through the trees up here, but down there. Okay, we're on a mission now. Tucked into these little neighborhoods are several residences. I know, Daryl, they do it for privacy. It's okay. But it does get in our way, doesn't it? Look at that one. French influence here, for sure. And there's a flag over there. Now, who would that be? This is where I embarrass myself. For all the work I do on embassies, I forget flags easily. Oh, this is Lebanon. So this is the ambassador's residence. So we saw the embassy of Lebanon, and this is the residence of the ambassador. Just a few blocks up this big hill. I always talk about Washington, D.C. and how it's really easy to walk. And it is. It's very flat, except in a few places. I've already done my run today. Get a look back on this one. When we were in Middletown and I ran up that hill, oh my gosh. It looked a lot, it didn't look as steep as it was, for sure. It's also that time of year where I dress in a lot of layers in the morning and then it gets warm. And so I end up with layers of jackets and shirts tied up around my waist. So, Rays, you can always be an historian. That's the beautiful thing about history. That's actually the beautiful thing about learning. You can learn anytime, anywhere, any place. I think for history, more so than any discipline, I think it's about what people love. You know, people study business. I don't think they love business, right? They want to be successful, they want to make money. Beautiful garden here. But I think to study history, you have to do what you love. And you also have to have a fallback because that's not my day job. You can't, for some, it's hard to make a living on history. But if you have a really good job, then you can do history and go, you can study history. And if you don't have a good job, which is hard to get to make money to allow you to travel, then that's a struggle. Sometimes you have to, people say, do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Yeah, but you may also not be able to eat. So you have to have a practical profession to be able to pay so that you can do what you love. I don't know which one this is. And it has a crest above the door and a flag that, okay, there's no wind. There is a sign. I hope it's not a residence. It's the embassy. Oh, part of the embassy of Panama. That's not fair. That's not fair. There's another embassy of Panama. But this is, okay, Embassy of Panama. Okay, now I know. So when I do my video on Panama, haha, when I get to it, this is the Embassy of Panama. So what have we seen today? We've seen Lebanon, Switzerland, and Panama embassies. We've seen the residences of the Swiss ambassador, the Lebanese ambassador. We're going to go around the corner and get a better look at the Argentinian ambassador's residence here. So it's been a good day. Hi, Nancy. Great to see you. Yeah, could be. Okay, so we've done a little circle. Here's where we came down Cleveland Avenue. We've done a circle here. Now we're on a mission. We're definitely on a mission to get to this Argentinian residence. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Pumpkins. Oh, we've got another one here. Is this also Panama? I don't know. The flag looks the same. This could be the residence. See if I can get a peek at the flag is behind the tree here. It looks like the same colors. It's annoying because there's no wind. We could have a little bit of a breeze to help us. I'm going to guess this is the residence of the ambassador of Panama. All right, well, that was a nice treat. Unplanned. Check that one out with the garden terrace above the pool house. Holy moly. Okay, this is a corner. This is Woodland Drive and 29th Street. Whoa. This one is not an ambassadorial residence. This is just wow. Okay. Check that out. With the backyard with the pool house with the terrace above the pool house. How come I haven't come down this street before? I have no idea why I haven't come down this. This is why we just wander. Check that out with that dancer artwork up there. That is unreal. Hello, Mamemes. Nice to see you. Hi, Jericho. Okay, Jericho. Yeah, Jen, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. One time, only one time, did someone give me a hard time. It was someone shouting at me about filming a house and it wasn't even his house. And then here we have just across from that more modern architecture. This is a good old late 1700s. It could be early 1800s. Colonial, good old American style. Next to this stone building, very simple but beautiful. This is what is interesting to me is when you have just a variety of architectural styles all in the same neighborhood. Pretty cool. Do I watch tennis? I used to. I was a Rafa Nadal fan. But when he retired, I kind of stopped watching. Jen, I appreciate that. Hello, Sizzle Moon. This is Woodland Drive in Northwest Washington, D.C., sporting a beautiful variety of architecture. One of Washington's exclusive and beautiful neighborhoods. But we're on a mission now. We want to get to that ambassadorial residence for Argentina, which, if I think I saw it correctly, will be headed this way. This is a long walk it's going to be a long walk back to my car today. A very long walk back to my car today. But that's good. So this is a hilly area of Washington, D.C. And today's the day of the Marine Corps Marathon. So if you're in Washington, D.C. today, especially this morning, be careful. Avoid the road closures. You might end up in a detour loop of death today. There's a tutor. And another residence coming up here. Oh, we're hitting the gold mine today. When I was doing all my studies on the architecture of the embassies, I really wasn't focused on the residences because that opens up a whole other can of worms. But here's one. I am going to guess it's... Okay, that looks like Egypt. Again, if there was just a breeze, it might help me out here. Sorry, and I'm shooting into the sun as well. This could be, I don't know, Iraq, Iran, Egypt. It looks like black and red. See if I can get a better shot with the sun in a different angle. Is that Iran? I believe it is. So this may be the ambassadorial residence for Iran. And across, now I'm going to zigzag. This is probably not good on this little street. Check this one out. This is beautiful. This is stone. Wow. I don't want to get too close, but that's amazing. Don't know why I haven't been here before. I really don't think I've walked down this street before. I mean, going street by street through the entire city of Washington, D.C. will take me the rest of my life, so we'll see something different every day. Yeah, I'm not sure. You were planning on going to Arlington Cemetery this morning. Yeah, Lily Cat, I would say you'll be fine by the afternoon. Check this out. Oh my gosh. Check that out. That is quite beautiful. Quite beautiful. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out now how to get back to where we thought we saw the residence of the Argentinian ambassador. And we might not make it. I don't know what this is. This is an entire estate or something, or a school. No, this looks like a... I've gone off the map, so I'm not sure where I am. I mean, I know where I am, but I'm not sure what's around here. Now check out the fake birds. The fake birds in the holly tree. So this is some kind of compound here, or a school, or a private school. I'm going to have to go back home and map this walk since I've gone so far off path. To quite an exclusive area. Look at these fake birds. I guess they're meant to keep the real birds out. That's wild. Oh, I'm hearing people shout. We may be close to the marathon area. Hang on. We may be close. I'm hearing people shouting now. This might be good. We may get a view at the marathon. Okay, here it is. This is the residence of the ambassador from Argentina. There's the flag. All right, I don't want to get any closer. There's the flag, and there's the residence. Okay, we found it. We were way up there, and we walked all the way around. Yeah, they could be Halloween decorations, but they're, I guess, they're so few and so small. It says, turn back if I were you. That's nice. All right. I do hear lots of cheering. So we're going to follow the cheering to the marathon. And then, so I'm going to walk a little faster. I'm just going to follow the sounds of cheering. So I'm going to guess, I'm not even going to guess where we are right now. I'm not. I can't imagine. But I'm going to walk a little faster. But we'll still stop and admire. We'll still stop and admire the beautiful architecture. Okay, the cheers are getting louder. We have to be getting closer. Let's stop and admire. How does an ambassador from Argentina afford such a place? Well, the countries themselves have to pay. The United States doesn't pay for those residences. So, you'll have to ask that. Some have very modest residences. Some are incorporated in the complexes of the embassy. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Let's see what flag this is. This could be Vietnam. I don't know. I just see red. Again, there's no breeze. No, that's not Vietnam. I don't know. Look, all I can see is the red. Let's try. This is not helpful. This is so not helpful at all. We'll have to look this one up. Don't know which residence this is. Oh, I know where I'm hearing the shouting from. Okay, so we're close to Rock Creek. That's Rock Creek Drive. And they're probably down on Rock Creek Parkway. So the question is, do we go north or south to try to see the runners? I think we go south. But in the meantime, okay, I'm not even going to guess. Wow. All right. I'm just following the noise of the runner, the people cheering the runners. Okay, this one, we have another residence here. Anyone who knows flags and can tell a flag when there's no breeze to help whatsoever. This is another residence here. It is. So the end, we've gotten very close. Yeah, and I know those Secret Service agents. They're happy to chat about architecture too. They're very nice people. They don't let you get anywhere near, as they should, but they're extremely nice and well informed about architecture. Right, I'm gonna walk super fast, super fast. All right, we're gonna cross over and get on the sidewalk here. We're gonna head to Massachusetts Avenue. I know where I am now, and get up over the bridge looking over Rock Creek because I can hear people cheering the runners, but that's a little canyon there. We're not going to walk that way. We'll walk and check out the runners. Am I walking in the street? Now I am back in the street again because there's no sidewalk. So there are some places where there's no sidewalk. So we do have to walk in the street. All right, we're going to take the path and see if we can see some runners. All around Rock Creek. Beautiful, beautiful hiking paths. Really close to the residential areas. Easy access to get on a trail and enjoy some nature in the middle of the city. Good morning. So I'm hoping I'm going in the right direction to see some runners. Otherwise, we're just taking a lovely detour. I don't know if you can hear all the cheering. Oh, I can see runners. I can see runners. I can. We're getting there. I should be walking much more serenely and quietly here in this beautiful space. But I've got a purpose now. What a ramble we've had today. Here, I started my day trying to avoid the runners. And now we're trying to find the runners. Morning. Let's see, where can I get to? Can I go down here? I think so. You see the runners peeking through the trees? This might not be the best place for a view, but getting a little peek at the runners at the Marine Corps Marathon there through the trees. Now let's go up on the bridge. Through the beautiful forest. Rock Creek extends from Washington, D.C. all the way up through Maryland. There is so much trail. And historic sites along the way. Morning. Everybody's screaming today. Oh, they're having a good old time. I don't know if you can hear all the hooting and hollering. Oh, that's probably it. Sizzle Moon, you're correct. They're probably excited. Maybe it's halfway. We'll go this way and get up to the bridge. This is one of the trails adjacent to Rock Creek in Rock Creek Park. There are many. This area, as well as the C&O Canal Trail, they're just great. And they're just so close to, they're just close to the streets in the downtown area. You can get another glimpse of the runners through the trees. They're really easy to get to. And that is Rock Creek right there, winding its way through Maryland and Washington, D.C. into the Potomac River. Hi, Korea. This is Washington, D.C. We we did an architectural tour through some neighborhoods and residential areas. And then I heard the shouting of the runners from the Marine Corps Marathon. So we've taken a little dip through Rock Creek Park to take a detour to get up to Massachusetts Avenue, where maybe we can see the runners. And now the ascent begins. This is a steep part of the trail. And then we can peer down on the runners, but I'm going to go really fast here. These adventures don't often go to plan. Nice detour today. Hey, good morning. Okay, that's the bridge we want to be on top of. So when I say it's a steep hike coming up, it's a steep hike coming up. That is Massachusetts Avenue. That is Mass Ave. Great question, Sizzle. Yep. We began the day around the bridge that takes Connecticut Avenue over the creek. And now we're at Mass Ave. This is a good view. The runners, walkers, joggers, all those taking part in the Marine Corps Marathon today. And it is such a beautiful day for it. Now, let's see. Can I get up that bridge? I know the trail meets down here and will end up behind the Embassy of New Zealand, by the way. But it might be quite a ways. So I think what I'm going to do is just go back to where I was for a second. So we can get a little view here. Because I need to watch my footing on this part of the trail. So we'll take a look down here at the beautiful Rock Creek. We'll take a look across the way at all the runners participating in today's Marine Corps Marathon. And I will say thank you to everyone for joining the stream today. This was quite a ramble on a beautiful day. We got to see so many places that I didn't expect. So many ambassadorial residences, but without being able to see the flags, I'll have to do some research. I hope I hope everyone has a fantastic Sunday today. And wherever you are, Do take care.